Coming up on the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, Pearland and Dawson went down to the wire last week. Will either team suffer a letdown tonight? Jalen Hurts and Channelview topped Northshore on a last-second Hail Mary last year. Can the Falcons recapture that magic? And Fort Bend Hightower's ridden a strong defense to a 6-0 start. Will Hastings be able to calm the Hurricanes? It's all on the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, and it all starts right now. This is a huge week for sports in the Houston area, whether it be the Houston Astros, the Houston Texans last night, the University of Houston. There's also high school football, Ted Johnson.
Absolutely. Week 7, we're in the meat of the schedule right now. A lot of good action tonight and tomorrow.
Ted Johnson returning, by the way, the 3-time Super Bowl champ. This is the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show brought to you by TexanDrive.com. My name's Howard Chen, and tonight we have a lot of action for you, starting with Dawson and Manvel. Our big star forward of the game, big star forward game of the week, excuse me. Dawson and Manvel, this is big stuff here. Big game. Dawson trying to bounce back after that heartbreaking loss last week to Pearland. And right off the get-go, Zach Smith, the quarterback, he's been playing well since week 1. The 1-yard plunge, that gives the Eagles a 7-0 lead, but Manvel, they're a tough go. They've been scoring points like crazy ever since that season opening loss to Westfield. They've been in fuego. De'Eric King finding UT commit Reggie Hemphill. King himself, he's committed to TCU. That goes for 13 yards and the score, and the game is tied at 7. Second quarter now, same score. Manvel, the handoff goes to Devon Penniman. He's headed to Ole Miss. He's been averaging over 10 yards a carry. This one goes for way more than 10 yards. It goes for 60 and for 6. 14-7, Mavs in front. Hoka Hay and more Mavericks later on. It is King. He did damage with his arm earlier, this time with his legs around the right side, and the flick into the end zone for the score that made it 21-7. Manvel taking control as this game went along, and the Mavericks keep on winning. Tough loss for Dawson. Final score of this one, 49-31. Now these two teams, Ted, are two of the best teams in the area. And Dawson last week, they almost beat Pearland. They were up by 8 in the final minutes of the game, and Pearland forced overtime, got the 2-point conversion. Then in overtime, Pearland scored. Dawson came back with a score, and they missed the extra point.
Oh, heartbreaker.
Yeah, that's how close it was. And then tonight, going against Manvel, you see just Manvel has 14 guys going D1. Yeah. I mean, that's just
tough.
Crazy talent over there.
Yeah, it's a lot of talent. And so they got to be, discouraged after what's happened the last 2 weeks. But that's football. That's the way it is. You get it up. You try and get it back the next week. It's a game of inches. It really is, Howard. And so you need everybody doing the best you can. Sometimes it doesn't work it out that way. But, hey, you know what? You get up, you fight, you do the best you can.
Two talented teams right there for Dawson and Manvel. Two more talented teams facing off against each other, Northshore and Channelview.
Yeah, you got Northshore Mustangs last week handled Westbrook, no problemo, taking on Channelview Falcons. A playoff contender here. Got a good game right here. You got Channelview's number 2, Jalen Hurts, throws it to number 14, Lafayette, Anthony Stevens for a touchdown to go up 7-zip. There you go. You got North Shore's number 3, Makai Long, does a QB run for a little touchdown.
He's a playmaker.
He is a playmaker. Ties up score at 7-7. North Shore's number 3, Makai Long again, does a QB run for another touchdown. North Shore Mustangs win this one 24-13 over Channelview Falcons. That's a big win. Channelview 5-1 coming into this game. And North Shore 2-3, so that was a big win for those guys.
Very big win for North Shore because their 3 losses this season have come against some tough opponents. Good to see them battle back because they've obviously been battle tested. For Channelview, they were unbeaten, they were rolling along, and then last week they lost a game to Westbrook and they were trying to bounce back. They needed to beat North Shore. This is kind of tough for them.
Yeah, they're still on the edge of maybe making the playoffs, so there's hope still there for that team. You never know, but they got to win all these games if they're going to be able to do it, but they still have a chance.
Got to win as many games as possible. When we come back, we have more games. Pearland, the Oilers managed to stay unbeaten last week. Could they do it again against Alvin? The highlights coming up next on the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com.
At Cavenders, we don't just wear the West, we live it.
I live for a good run.
I live for the crowd.
My scar.
7 flat in the short round.
My face.
Working with my partner.
8 seconds, nothing less.
Rooting for the bull.
Cavenders, don't just wear it, live it.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
Like new Ram 1500 Lone Star Cruise for just $329 a month. Or get a new Ram 3500 for just $38,985.
Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram located at 59 in Will Clayton. Or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com. We treat you better.
All right, welcome back to the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com. You know, there were some special guests over one of the high school football games. Hightower Hastings, how about some Texans? Christian Covington and Whitney Merciless.
But this is the highest level of football that you can play at. They've been in high school, they've been in college, now they're in the big leagues. You understand? Yes, sir. Whitney Merciless, just a correction right there. That's all good, man. Hey. Look, I know where y'all at right now. I know how y'all feeling. So the thing is, what I wanted to tell y'all is just, man, you go out there, play with your hearts, man. Man, from the start of the whistle, from the start of the game, from the start of the kickoff, man, everything, do it with your heart, man. Lay it on the line for your brothers. That's the thing, you all you got. Don't nobody understand what you got in here. All right? You know what you got in here. You know what you got inside yourself, all right? Man, you go out there, man, you lay it down, all right? Man, from everything, man. From every individual battle to every individual play.
Y'all play for each other. Y'all play your hearts out. I know it's tough. We kind of in the same position as y'all too. With this trying to get something in the win column. But you know what? At the end of the day, you're playing for the real MVP upstairs. So, you know, thank you.
Now, I know that people might be feeling down about the Texans game last night, but it's pretty cool that the players are out there in the community and trying to inspire these young athletes.
Oh, you kidding me? Whitney Merciless, that's what he does. He's always out there talking to kids, doing different things for his charity. And I remember when Junior Seau came to my high school. He went to my rival high school a few years before me, came back and talked to our high school, what that meant to me and the impact. Those guys look huge to those high school kids, and for them to take the time out to do that, to connect with those kids and download some of the information that they've learned is a huge experience, and the kids love it.
So it must have been cool when you saw Junior Seau make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he did. Oh, you kidding me? First ballot. That's my guy. That was the guy I looked up to. He went to my rival high school. For him to take the time to come out and talk to us and our team, it meant so much.
All right, well, let's check out the highlights for that Hightower Hastings game in which Christian Covington and Whitney Merciless, they showed up. Covington, an honorary captain for that game. For Hightower, they've been putting it together this season because on defense, they had that all along. Offense, too. Nico Hollins, 10-yard pass to Keelan Jackson. That made it 6-0. More Hollins later on, 20-yard pass again to Jackson. Another score. That makes it 20-0. Second quarter, Hollins, a short pass to Andre Lewis. And he comes off the tackle. Look at that. You thought he would get wrapped up. No, you got to make sure to take him down. He wasn't taken down. He goes the end zone, makes it 26-0. Hightower improves to a perfect 7-0 after their 40-7 victory.
All right, here we go. Deer Park taking on Beaumont Westbrook Bruins. Deer Park 3-3. Not the best year for them. Here we go. We got Cameron Thompson. Throws the ball to Ethan Plunkett. Back in the end zone. Go up 7-zip right there. Cameron Thompson to Sammy Linton for a 4-yard TD run. You keep hearing that name. Sammy Linton. That kid's a beast. Thompson to Linton again for a 33-yard run right there, hitting his head on the goalpost. That kid is good. Go up 17-14. Again, here we go. We got Thompson. Hands the ball off to Linton for a 9-yard TD run. That kid Linton, man, every single week you see him putting up big numbers. Number 6 right there, big time. Here we go. We got Westbrook Bruins, 40. Deer Park Deer, 20. Big win for Westbrook Bruins.
Pretty impressive win there by Westbrook. Alvin and Pearland, this game was close in the second half. The Oilers were only up 6-3 in the third quarter. That's right. The Oilers were unbeaten and perfect. Well, in the third quarter, they turned it up. Ronald Adams to Jonathan White on the reverse. That was nice. Makes it 13-3 Pearland. Then, more in the third quarter, more Pearland. It's Adams. This time, he takes it himself, and he runs it in from the 15-yard line. That brings the score to 20-3 Pearland, and they keep on going. This time, it's the quarterback. Part of the two-headed monster with Jacob Whitehead, Connor Blumrick. He drops back. He looks, puts it in the air, and that goes for 38 yards. Nice pass and catch and run. It is 27-3 for Pearland. Guess what, Moy Oilers? They're not done yet. First half, things kind of went slowly for them, but you know, Alvin, they put some points on the board too. Garrett Graham throws it to Jose Morano. That makes it 27-10. Final score. The Oilers are just too much for the Yellow Jackets, 34-10. This game, to be honest, I saw the score at 6-3 in the third quarter, and these Oilers and Tony Heath, they are a powerhouse, and they're only up 6-3 on Alvin.
Yeah, well, you know what? They can turn on points anytime in the point in the game. So that's what they got on the offense. It's a high-powered offense, even though at this point it's a tight game. Yeah, they have it in them any time to turn it on.
And most coaches would probably say, you know, it doesn't matter when you score, as long as you score and get the win.
Nobody cares about it. It's just who cares about style points, right?
Right. Cy Falls, Cy Ridge. Let's check out the highlights for that game. Battle of Cypress, as all these teams are when they play each other, and there's a lot of teams in Cypress. For Cy Falls, the pitch goes to Jalen Scott. He goes around the left side for 8 yards for the score. That makes it 7-0 Golden Eagles. On the other end, the handoff goes to Shannon Vaughns. He's been one of the stars so far this season. A ton of touchdowns. Him and Desmond Hyde, they've really been turning it on. And this game is tied at 7. And Cy Ridge driving down. Cody Kennedy, he throws it out to Travion Smith. Desmond Hyde making the tackle. The fumble at the 1 for the touchback for Cy Falls. This game, a close one. Golden Eagles getting the job done. They stay unbeaten. They were 5-0 heading this game, and they win. They pull it out. They eke it out, 24-21.
There we go. You got Klein Oak taking on Caney right here. Brandon Blair throws to number 18, Brian Hines. He breaks a couple tackles. Oh, it gets in the end zone, takes for a 47-yard TD, go up 7-0 right there. Here you go. We got number 3. Quarterback Brandon Blair keeps it on the quarterback draw to the middle, breaks several tackles. Look at him. All the way, takes it 38 yards for a touchdown. It's a rout at this point, going up 21-0. Again, you've heard this before. Number 3, Brandon Blair, again, gets a block by Jacob Harpool, breaks some tackles, gets to the end zone. Yeah, this one's over. 27-0. Oh, you come back there to the Caney Wildcats. Ready to show some fight. Klein Oak Panthers take this one, ultimately 25-20 over the Caney Wildcats.
You know, something that happened last week, Ted, that was really unfortunate. Spring and Westfield, 2 solid teams going against each other. And this team, and this game, it wasn't finished. 6 minutes left, there was a benches clearing brawl. And the game was called, Westfield was winning, so they got the win at that point. But the aftermath of that game, they decided both teams get the loss. And you see this scene on the field.
Is ugly.
It's ugly. And both sides clear.
Man.
Now, really, to me, it doesn't even matter who started the fight. There's no room in the sport
no room for this. You don't know room for this, and you hope the coaches had a good talking to it with these kids afterwards. This is unacceptable at this point. I mean, this is just awful to see right here. I mean, football's a violent game, but you got to keep it in check. Between the lines, you hit, you play fair, but you don't do cheap shots, and you certainly do not do this. This is an ugly look for both schools right here.
Now, I understand about heat of the moment stuff, but at the same time, sometimes you have to control yourself. And right now, we decided to test out the scene on Twitter. Courtney Madden, I mean, what were people saying about this?
Well, obviously, it was kind of a touchy subject for everyone, not only in Houston, but all around Texas. It was hard for people to watch this, especially for the high school football lovers. It's devastating to see two teams stacked with D1 talent do something like this. So let's take a look at what you guys thought.
Let's do it.
PJ Richardson 1 said, so sad to see this, just play the game. Chris Prime 17 said, this is an embarrassment for SISD. Lips 1313 said, as unfortunate as this is, you can see the Westfield clear the bench first. 23 Vic MJR said they need to quit playing each other. It happens every year. Crew Gregory said, typical. I just can't understand the mentality of kids, especially coaches these days. Lighten up, people. Zulu Warrior 88 said punishments were just. I also feel the referees should have received some type of punishment. And It's Your Boy AJ said fair because that never should have happened.
Yeah, I mean, there were some stiff punishments in this. I mean, both players and coaches alike. I mean, both coaches have to miss the next game, and both of them will be missing a lot of players, varying degrees, 1 to 3 games. And so I'm kind of glad that most people say it's deserved.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you got to set an example. Are you kidding me? This is inexcusable for this to happen. Coaches are, you got to hold them accountable as well. They set this culture. They're the ones that are the leaders of this team. But then you have to talk about all the D1 talent on the team. Those guys are the leaders. The younger kids look up to them. They should be setting the example as well. You got to come hard on them, come down on them hard, set an example so this stuff doesn't happen again.
And that's what Spring ISD, good job by the Spring School District. That's what they did with the punishment. Well, we get back to on-the-field stuff. The games coming up next. Another one of the unbeaten, Cinco Ranch. Could they stay that way? Find out next on the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com. All right, welcome back to the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com. That's Ted Johnson, 3-time Super Bowl champ. I am Howard Chen, and so far, Ted, we've seen some unbeaten teams take care of business. When you're in high school and your team's really good, is there kind of a pressure to stay unbeaten?
Yeah, of course. Are you kidding me? Everybody's gunning for you, and you got to work just as hard to keep that unbeaten record going. So, and everybody's looking at you to take a game off, to maybe not take a team so serious. Man, if you play up to your ability every single week, you'll get it done. So being undefeated at this point's got to feel pretty good.
Now, Cinco Ranch has an added pressure of trying to catch Katy, because everybody always tries to catch Katy, but Cinco Ranch, they're unbeaten right now. And tonight, they had a game against Tompkins. Tompkins has been much improved this year. Don't count them out, but Cinco Ranch is also improved from a season ago. Big reason is the coming of age of their quarterback, Russell Morrison. Up the middle. No one's going to catch him. He finds that opening. Nice block at the very end. That was cool. Reaches out, breaks the plane. That went for 57 yards. He had another long touchdown run later on. Morrison this time with his arm. Guns it. 30 yards, Brandon Green for a touchdown. Morrison only threw 8 passes, completed 5 of them. 2 of them were touchdowns. That made it 14-0 later on for Cinco Ranch. Davion Johnson. He's going. He's going. Could he go all the way? Oh, he gets knocked out of the 1-yard line. So close. Well, they did score on the next play. Johnson had a huge game. 9 rushes, 132 yards, and a score. Cinco was up 45-0 at the half. They go on to win 52-0.
All right, here we go. Cy Ranch Mustangs coming in with 5-1 record, taking on Cy Springs. Cy Springs turnovers a big issue for them. Here we go. You got Cy Springs quarterback Tate Barber. Throws to number 81, Donnell Dunn. Breaks 3 tackles on his way for the touchdown. Easy. Go up 7-0. Cy Ranch running back E.J. Thompson, who had a game, 131 yards in this game, runs up the middle. Ooh, for a 46-yard TD right there to tie the score at that point. Cy Ranch, return man, number 27, Ahmad Willis. Look at him. Boom. Just running through guys like knife through hot butter right there. Don't take the ball, 33-yard line, breaks, a couple tackles, takes it to the house for a TD, puts them up, 45-20 at this point, boy. Cy Ranch Mustangs, they had a huge night on the ground, 408 yards rushing. They take this one 59-20 over Cy Springs Panthers.
Okay, Dickinson and Clear Falls. Dickinson, they are new to the rankings. They are highly impressive, and tonight they showed why. Against Clear Falls, quarterback rolling out, passes it the other way. Pass is caught, tackle made. Later on, more for Dickinson. And no one's going to touch the running back there. He finds pay dirt around the left end for a touchdown there. Later on, another highlight. Let's check it out. Ball's chucked up in the air. It is intercepted by Dickinson. They were making plays all night long. Check the handoff. Little scoot, little cutback there, and no defender in sight. Another touchdown as Dickinson, the Gators, pitch a shutout. Jordan Myers, a huge game for him. 4 touchdowns on the ground, 42-0. Dickinson's one of those teams. I was surprised they weren't ranked before this week, so they may be one of the more underrated teams around the area.
I tell you what, I like being underrated. I like people, taking us lightly. That's usually when that's a, position of strength right there. So that's all right. There's still a lot of season left, so they're making their way up in the rankings.
When you feel underrated, is that kind of a chip on your shoulder, more motivation for the rest of the year?
Yeah, of course. We all like being, underestimated and told we can't. We're not that good enough. We're not good enough, and then show people and prove to them. So that's what these boys are doing. Just keep doing their job. Just keep doing your thing. People are going to notice you.
Well, we're here to tell you, don't underestimate Dickinson because they're pretty good. All right, moving on to more highlights. We're going to check out Austin and Elsick. Fort Bend Austin, they had a tough task ahead of them because Elsick, they're pretty good, and this guy's pretty good too. E.J. Davis, some nice cutbacks in the middle. He scoots to the right side. This goes for 55 yards. Big day for Davis. 18 carries, 111 yards. That makes it 7-0.
That's a big boy right there.
Oh, yeah. Devin Henderson for Elsick. Later on in the first quarter, same score. He'll decide to keep it himself. Woo, yeah. He finds some open territory, and no one's going to catch him. 14-0. Fort Bend Austin, third quarter. Antonio Robau, the punter.
Special teams!
If you're on special teams, if you're the punter and you make the highlights, most likely it's not good. Nah, he got blocked by Aaron Jackson. Jackson making plays everywhere. That was impressive right there. Elsick gets the win, 27-3 as you see. Davis with a huge game.
We got Port Arthur Memorial here. Number 8, right up the middle. Juice everybody. Ah, you can't get him. Too fast. Too fast. It's speed. Speed. Texas, man, everywhere. Hands the ball off. Number 8. Does he even get touched? Number 6.
I don't think so.
See ya, man. Finds him up on the sideline there, all the way down. Touchdown there. But that was a nice run by that kid right there. Give him some oxygen. Hello. Help me out here. Takes it back, a little screen. Sterling on offense, there we go, a little screen play. I love that middle screen, man.
That was a cool play.
Texas should use that play. Takes to the house. I love that screen play. Nice job there. You got PA Memorial Titans, 27, beating the Baytown Sterling Rangers, 22.
How about Dayton and Kingwood Park? Let's check out the highlights there. Fans getting into it, getting plenty of support, getting plenty of love from the stands. Gotta love that. Now, Kingwood Park, Zach Purcell, the quarterback, trying to make a play here with a score of 14-7.
Yep.
It gets deflected, though, and it is intercepted. Marlon Etheridge with the play, and he's going to run it back. He's not just going to take a knee. He's taken down the 25-yard line. Later on, third quarter, it's 21-14. Usually I don't really like to say the quarterback's name on a handoff. In this case, quarterback was Shaq Long. I love that name. Jalen Steiner gets the ball for the 40-yard run, 27-14. Later on, it is Shaq again with the handoff again to Steiner. You like saying the trap play. You like seeing the trap play. 75-yard rush
like a young Marshall Faulk right there.
Oh, wow. That's some high praise. They would score on the next play, 34-28. Fourth quarter now. As we check the final score, this was a barn burner of a game, 41-35. Broncos win it. Steiner had a huge game, 215 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. And Shaq Long, he had a good game too. 18 carries, 159 yards. He also threw a touchdown pass. All right, coming up next, one of the best defenses, not just the Houston area, but around the state, the Woodlands. Check out what they did next on the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com.
Register for your sports performance program online at cesperformance.com. CES Performance offers multi-month memberships and team training. Baseline performance testing included with every athletic development program. Schedule your athletic evaluation at CES Performance at no cost or commitment. Be prolific at cesperformance.com.
Big Star Ford, Houston's fastest growing Ford dealer. Why? Huge discounts, most for your trade. Explorers, $6,000 off. Fusion, $7,000 off. F-150, $12,000 off. F-250, $15,000 off. And now every car, truck, and SUV has 0% interest for 72 months. 0% for 72 months. Don't walk, run. These deals end soon. Big Star Ford, big city discounts, small town dealing.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
Here we go with some of your Sports Radio 610 scoreboards. Montgomery against Klein Forest. Bears get the job done over the Golden Eagles 31-22. And Cy Woods with a big win over Cy Lake 70-20.
There we go. We got the MacArthur Generals. Ooh, putting it on. Northbrook, nice. That's not fair, man. 65-2. That's a nice game by them. Katy Taylor Mustangs taking on Straight Jesuit Crusaders. Crusaders take this one 36-26.
Straight Jesuit keeps on winning. How about Chavez against Westside, and the Wolves win 21-6 there. And Reagan continues their highly impressive season. Bulldogs win it 49-7. And like I said, Reagan's been really impressive, but the Woodlands, I mean, yeah, they lost to Katy earlier in the year, but that game was 14-7. The Highlanders have been really impressive this season.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Oh, those guys have been doing great. Really, really good. You know, you lose that game to Katy, but you know, you figured it out. That's a powerhouse school, man, right? I mean, you just count on it. So that's a well-oiled machine, year in, year out. They know what the heck they're doing. If you're going to be in that program, you better buckle up and get it going.
And the Woodlands, they're right up your alley because defense is their team. Yeah. That's their thing. They're only allowing 7 points a game so far on the season, and that includes the Katy game. Tonight, they're playing against College Park. And College Park, actually, they're not too bad. They only have one win this season, but they're tough to underestimate. Woodlands here, Eric Schmid, the handoff to Jordan Talford, 20-yard run that goes for a score, makes it 7-0. Later on, it's Schmid. He throws for a 50-yard bomb to Mason Vench with a 55-yard score. Now, Schmid making plays down the field today. Coach let him know this is what you need to do, and Schmid makes it happen. He keeps it, and he fires it downfield to Reed Barber for a 35-yard gain. Pretty nice ball here, and it's caught. That's good. The Woodlands, they get the job done, 28-0. The defense, another shutout, another impressive outing from the Woodlands.
Here we go. You got Conroe taking on Summer Creek right here. You got Zachary Walker, hands the ball off to Broderick Jones. Where's he going? Oh, he's going 61 yards to the house. Look at him. Really, talk about speed, explosion right there. Oh, but it's called back. Oh, for not, man. Can't have those penalties. Walker hits a strike to DeMarcus for a 15-yard TD. Missed the extra point, so they go up 6-zip. Conroe trying to get back into the game. Colby Kesey throws a strike down the field. Summer Creek. Walker takes the snap, runs it up the middle. That's okay to tackle him if you want there, guys. Runs it up the middle there for 40 yards. It sets up a field goal. Puts Summer Creek up 9-zip at the half. Ultimately, Summer Creek wins this one. Summer Creek Bulldogs 25, Conroe Tigers 7.
Morton Ranch and Mayde Creek, these two teams have not stopped anybody this season.
That's
seriously, they're giving up about 35 points a game, both of them. This one, you expect a shootout. The nice score there from Jalen Brown, and later on, second quarter, Trek Drake throws a 32-yard strike to Austin Richardson for the score that ties it up at 7s. Mayde Creek special teams. They punted to Morton Ranch. And let's check it out because like we said earlier, if you show special teams on the highlights, usually it's not a good thing. And well, it's a good thing for one team, not so good for the other. In this case, Morton Ranch, Trey Taylor returns 89 yards. He could be tackled. He's just evading would-be tacklers, and he takes it all the way to the house. Pretty good there, just breaking tackles all the way. That made it 14-7, and this wasn't as high scoring as I imagined it to be. The Mavericks get the win 21-20. Unbelievable game there. Now, both of those teams, they kind of needed something to get back on track, so kind of a relief right there to see one team get it done.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's how it is. Someone's got to win the game, and that was a very good game by that team right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are moving on to George Ranch and Foster. Big game there.
Yeah, George Ranch coming in 5-0. They haven't lost a game all season long. 2 years ago, Dwight Howard and Chandler Parsons came to this game. Last year, Dwight Howard came to this game. Is he here for this one? I'm not sure here. Penalties crushed Foster at the start of the game. 2 drives, 2 3-and-outs for Richmond Foster's offense. George Ranch begins the drive on the Foster 40. They take the ball. They take long fast for Foster at this point. Oh, yeah,
he's strutting.
He's definitely strutting.
Got a little swagger.
Goes in the back. Oh, fade up to the back of the end zone. Got a little D-hop there in the back. He thinks he intercepted. No, it's a touchdown. I think it's pass interference on the defense. Bad call by the officials. Quarterback rolls out. Goes out to the left. Goes to the left. Oh, yeah. Give it to him. Gets the ball across the plane. Nice play there.
Nice celebration, too.
Still down in the red zone. Spending more time in the red zone. Quarterback finds. Ooh, do double coverage right there.
A lot of Foster plays. A lot of Foster plays against a really good George Ranch team.
That was huge. Just throw it up, let those big receivers come down and get it. Nice play there. George Ranch Longhorns keep their record clean at this point. Beat the Foster Falcons 35-28.
And the Longhorns at George Ranch, they're one of the area's best teams. And that game against Foster was really impressive. Now, I know it's a rivalry game, so that kind of, what kind of difference is there when it's a rivalry game and 2 teams are playing against each other?
Well, you just know each other very, very well, and you hate each other. It's deep-seated hate right there.
Yeah.
So you always want to beat your rival whenever you can. Someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. So you got to do bragging rights for a whole year until next year you get to play.
Yeah, that one went down to the wire. Now, one of the top recruits from the area, you saw Elsick win earlier, one of their top players on defense, Dontavius Jackson. He has 1 million offers. The latest on his recruiting, here's Courtney Rowland.
Omaha, Omaha, set, hut. Dontavius Jackson, he's a Rivals.com 4-star inside linebacker for a reason. He gets to the quarterback, and that's exactly why he has an offer list that's a mile long. The next step for him is narrowing that list down.
I'll be probably releasing the top 6 within the next month and a half maybe. And how I'm going to do it is just basically how I feel about the school, how I feel about the coaching staff, where I feel I can play early. And I'm going to major in economics. I feel like that's going to best suit me for my life. That's my best interest right now. Some schools, stand out as far as, graduation rate and especially athlete graduation rate. So, that's going to be a point in my narrowing of my list.
Schools and fans are going to have to wait until National Signing Day, though, to find out where Dontavius Jackson ends up.
I don't want to hold out just because I like the anxiety and the wait. And I'm an actor. I'm in drama. So I like playing it out, seeing people's reaction. We reenact the movie Four Brothers, and I was Bobby, oldest brother, and we also did Romeo and Juliet, and of course I was.
Oh Juliet, oh Juliet.
Yep. So on that film,
that was nice.
You were reacting.
Yeah, I like that. You see me get all excited when I see that play. That's a linebacker that plays downhill. He doesn't play side to side. He presses the line of scrimmage. Good middle linebackers do that, and that kid was doing that.
You know what you're talking about because he played in the NFL. All right, coming up next, our Big Star Ford Game of the Week. Dawson and Manvel rehash that. This is the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show brought to you by TexanDrive.com. That is Ted Johnson. I am Howard Chen, and this is the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show brought to you by TexanDrive.com. Our Big Star Ford Game of the Week tonight, battle of two really good teams, Dawson against Manvel. You know these two teams, they want to make a statement. If either of those teams wins tonight, it is a statement by either one. So let's take to the highlights. First quarter, Zach Smith been playing some good ball. Only one turnover since the very first week of the season. The 1-yard score there on the keeper makes it 7-0 Eagles. Plenty of talent though on Manvel's side. De'Eric King, he is a verbal commit to TCU. He's been making plays since forever. Fakes the handoff, then finds Texas commit Reggie Hemphill, one of the best receivers in the area. You can say that a lot about a lot of the players on Manvel. They have a lot of the best players at their respective positions in the area. This time the handoff goes to Devon Penniman, another one of the better players at running back in the area. He's headed to Ole Miss, and he's headed to the end zone too. 60 yards and a score that makes it 14-7 for Manvel. More Mavericks. Later on, it is King. We saw his arm. He can also run it, of course. And this time he's just going around, not shying away from contact, not running out of bounds. He flips on into the end zone, makes it 21-7, and Manvel, hoka hey, they go on to win 49-31. So Manvel, they kind of recovered nicely from the season's first game where they lost to Westfield, a really good Westfield team, but since then they've been on fire.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from that first loss. You really get a team to test their character at that point. Heartbreaker to open the season. They figured it out, and they're on a roll right now.
Yeah, they were battle-tested after that first game, and speaking of battle-tested, Northshore is battle-tested.
Yeah, you got that right. Northshore Mustangs taking on Channelview Falcons at 5-1. The only blemish for the Falcons, losing last week against Westbrook. You got Channelview's number 2, Jalen Hurts. Ooh, throws it to number 14, Lafayette, Anthony Stevens for a touchdown. That's a big kid right there, Anthony Stevens. They go up 7-zip. Northshore's number 3, Makai Long. Does a little quarterback run for a touchdown. Gets the ball across just barely, but that's all it needs to do is get across. North Shores again. Number 3, Makai Long does a QB run again for a touchdown.
Nice help from the line.
North Shore Mustangs take this one 24-13 over Channelview Falcons.
Yeah, North Shore lost 3 games early on this season, and most teams, you would say 3 losses, guess what, you're done. But guess what, they're not.
Yeah, they're still in it. You got division game, you got league games. Those are the games that really matter, so you learn a lot in the resolve of your team when you lose that many games early in the season. These boys got a lot of pride. They're turning around and winning some games now.
Friday nights, a ton of action on Friday nights, including Dulles. Check out how the Vikings did because you know I'm interested. That's my alma mater. The Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show brought to you by TexanDrive.com. Stay tuned.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
Like new Sierra Cruise discounted $12,400. That's right, folks. That's over 31%. And we have hundreds to choose from. Or a new Acadia for $299 a month.
Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan Buick GMC, located Highway 59 in Will Clayton. Or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com.
We treat you better.
All Spas is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But All Spas is also a boutique featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, All Spas is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. All Spas is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
At Cavender's, we don't just wear the West, we live it.
I live for a good run.
I live for the crowd.
My scar.
7 flat in the short round.
My face.
Working with my partner. 8 seconds, nothing less.
Rooting for the bull.
Cavender's. Don't just wear it, live it.
Have you been to TexanLive.com? If not, I'm here to tell you that TexanLive.com is the new home for high school sports. Check us out at TexanLive.com.
The Sports Radio 610 scoreboards, here they are. The Longhorns win, the Longhorns win.
Oh,
it's not
Dobie?
UT. Yeah, Dobie gets it done 50-23, and look at Dulles. Heck yeah, Luke Metzer, huge game, over 500 yards passing.
That's it?
8 touchdown passes, 3 of them to Rule Muhammad.
That's pretty good. Clear Creek Cougars taking on Razwoods Buccaneers. Cougars take this one 35-10, and you got Clear Lake Falcons taking on Clearbrook Wolverines. Wolverines take this one 22-14.
Elkin's defense showing up. Knights pitching the shutout 21-0 over Willow Ridge and Ridge Point. The Wildcats continue their strong season. They beat Santa Fe 49-7. And we've talked about some of the best teams in the area. Usually when you talk about that, it's Katy, it's George Ranch, it's Crosby, Manvel, Dawson. You can kind of talk about all those teams. You can't leave out Pearland. Absolutely not. Tony Heath does a great job with that. So that's why they're this week's Team of the Week, brought to you by Texan Live. Here they are with Courtney Madden.
We're getting deeper into district play. Rivalries are heating up, and the Pearland Oilers have marked their spot on Houston's map.
A man wide open, touchdown!
The Oilers know when the clock starts, regardless of the past, their opponents are the enemy.
I know a lot of the guys over there, we all do. We all know a lot of those guys, and they're our buddies, but on the field you can't really have any friends on the opposing team, but it's really out of just fun. There's no bad blood or anything.
They've already displayed many characteristics of a state championship contender, starting with their ability to fight till the end. In the district rivalry last week, Pearland beat Dawson in an unforgettable overtime thriller.
It's a big game that week, but the neat thing, if you saw us, and unfortunately some flags thrown, but if you saw at the very end, there were some good things done as well. You saw the 2 players that came back as friends, and they left it on the field. And that's the thing about it. You can have a rivalry, but at the end of the day, you need to come back as a one community, and I really feel that we did that between Pearland and Pearland Dawson.
They've showed they have depth. The Oilers have alternated Connor Blumrick and Jacob Whitehead at quarterback the entire season, and the offense has excelled under the leadership of both. And Coach Heath is impressed with the overall performance so far this season.
So far, so good. They've progressed really well. We're only as good as our last game.
The Oilers are off to a 7-0 start and don't plan on letting up until they have a state title in the books. And that is why the Pearland Oilers are the Team of the Week, presented to you by Texan Live.
Thank you very much, Courtney. And Pearland, they're not just good this year, they're good every single season. And with all the turnover in high schools, how tough is that to be good time in, time out?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's just a culture that they've been able to create. Everything from freshmen all the way up to seniors, working out, being on time, holding each other accountable, just the culture and the system and the players they got, it just keep putting them out there. They keep rolling along. That is a fine-tuned machine there in Pearland.
Great job by Tony Heath. That's why they are one of the best teams in the area. Speaking of best teams in the area, let's check out some of the scoreboards. Best teams around the state. Let's start with Class 6A, the top 5 teams there. Allen, Katy, Cedar Hill, Euless Trinity, and Cibolo Steel. And moving on.
There we go. We got Cedar Park taking on Leander, and then Crosby Idle. George Ranch versus Richmond Foster Austin. Vandergrift versus Vista Ridge.
And then all the teams at 4A, you look at Navasota from the area representing. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Up next, we have more to come for the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com.
There's no scores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see scores. We win.
You guys laughing at my faces back there, aren't you? They're like, yeah, hey, John, what do we got here, man?
Okay, so segment 7.
Segment 7.
We got scoreboards.
Oh, just more scoreboards?
More scoreboards.
No, we're good.
Is Plays of the Week dead?
All right.
Okay, so
Choice of scoreboards?
Scoreboards, and we toss like Players of the Week.
Okay. Hey, John, I tried to get the Chandler
Slide
Parsons
in
Dwight Howard thing in there.
When
I did.
the Player of the Week package is running. Do you need some final scores? Aldine Davis beat Nimitz 51-0. 23-20, Tomball Memorial.
Yeah, Tomball Memorial, baby. It's a new school. Ready to go? I need a drink.
What kind of drink?
I need a stiff drink.
Need some vodka.
Ever see that show on? seen Newsroom on HBO?
I have not. I heard it's good.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I like Narcos on Netflix. Welcome back. The Sports Radio 610 Scoreboard is on the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com. Texas City, a big win over Galveston Ball, 29-22, and New Caney getting the job done over Galena Park, 58-25.
You got Stratford Spartans taking on Brenham Cubs. Spartans, no problem, take the Cubs this 38-14, and then C King Panthers cruising over the NB Barberville Eagles, win that one 35-3.
Aldine Davis, the Falcons D showed up, 51-0. They shut out Nimitz, the Cougars and Nimitz, and then Tomball Memorial eking out a win over Waller, 23-20.
Tomball represent.
Yeah, a lot of big-time performances in these several weeks, a lot of great players. So it seems like time and time again, every single week, we have multiple players of the week because they deserve it, right?
Absolutely. You got a lot of good players in this area.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So New Caney, they have a quarterback, Timmy Ware, and Cy Falls, Desmond Height. They've been making plays all year long. That's why they are our players of the week. Here's Courtney Madden.
Texan Live is proud to announce our Players of the Week presented to you by Cavenders. We had one 5A Player of the Week out of New Caney, Timmy Ware, and one 6A Player of the Week out of Cy Falls, Desmond Height. Height is a versatile athlete and can play just about anywhere. He's used his versatility to help the Golden Eagles tremendously on both sides of the ball this season.
You know, I've been here at this school since 1997, and I haven't seen too many kids that have been able to do what he's done on the field. I mean, obviously on offense, I think maybe that's where people think about what he's doing. You know, he's averaging 14 yards a carry, which I've never seen anything like that. But he's also, we've asked him to play man-to-man on the best receiver every single week on the other side, and you know, he's playing 80, 90 snaps a week, never coming off the field. So we ask a lot of him, and so far he's delivered. I've been really proud of him.
Height looks to continue his successful season and hopefully make Golden Eagle history.
Personal goal is to average more rushing yards than anybody's ever averaged in Cy ISD.
Texan Live is out here at Cy Falls to present your Cavenders Player of the Week to Desmond Height. Congratulations. And our 5A Player of the Week, senior quarterback Timmy Ware. Aside from his impressive performance on the field this season, he has the attitude and mentality coaches look and hope for in a quarterback.
He is such a perfect quarterback because he is so calm. You never know if he's upset or. So I'm gonna miss that about him. Just his demeanor and his quiet leadership.
Timmy's high school football experience has been a little different than most. He's had the opportunity to play for his biggest fan, his dad.
What I'll miss the most is just seeing the joy in his eyes during games. You know, when that spirit of competition that he has, and you know, it's pretty special to get to witness that, and I also get to watch my daughter cheer on the sidelines.
Whether he continues to play in college or not, there's one thing he'll miss most about playing under those Friday night lights.
I've loved it. It's been awesome. I get to see him every day, get to talk to him every day, get to talk football with my dad every day, so I've loved it. I'm going to miss that a lot.
Texan Live is out here at New Caney High School to present Timmy Ware with Player of the Week. And that'll do it for our Player of the Week presented to you by Cavenders. As always, be sure to visit TexanLive.com to vote for your Player of the Week every week.
You know, I love those presentations all the time. You saw Courtney Madden out there. Courtney Madden's here right now with us, and you talked about a really good quarterback there, Timmy Ware.
Yes.
You want to talk about more quarterbacks on Twitter because that's what people were talking about there, right?
Yes, the quarterbacks were having an absolute field day all around Texas today. We had a few in particular we're going to talk about. Howard, you'll be excited to hear one of these. Cody Coyle. Navasota quarterback Shelton Epler is 20 of 21 with 504 yards and 7 touchdowns at the half. FB playbook, halftime, Dulles Vikings 55-34 against the Kempner Cougars. Luke Metzer, 407 passing yards and 7 touchdowns.
Wow. No biases, of course.
Rip Sports, the state record for touchdown passes in a game is 10. 2 quarterbacks have 7 at halftime tonight.
Halftime?
Dulles' Luke Metzer and Navasota Shelton Epler. And Quicksum said Kerrville Tivy quarterback Cade Dial completed 11 of 14 passes for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. As always, very impressive. Again.
Yeah, it was very impressive that Luke Metzer of Dulles
of course.
got multiple mentions. Yes, I'm a proud Dulles Viking. Luke Metzer, you rock.
He did great.
Yeah, no, he puts up some big numbers.
Those are huge numbers. Are you
yeah.
An aerial attack, you
when
don't see
you
that
have
necessarily.
more than 5 touchdown passes in a game, when you have more than 3 touchdown passes in a game, you're doing something right. Dulles is winning games as well. So good for Oshlor Fleming out there for the Vikings, really leading that movement. A lot of improvement there. Guess what? More highlights coming up next on the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com. You won't want to miss this. Pearland Oilers, baby. That's coming up next.
All Spas is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But All Spas is also a boutique featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, All Spas is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. All Spas is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Big Star Ford, Houston's fastest growing Ford dealer. Why? Huge discounts, most for your trade. Explorers, $6,000 off. Fusion, $7,000 off. F-150, $12,000 off. F-250, $15,000 off. And now, every car, truck, and SUV has 0% interest for 72 months. 0% for 72 months. Don't walk, run. These deals end soon. Big Star Ford, big city discounts, small town dealing.
Food should be good. Strawberries should sing. Lettuce should be dirty. Dressing clean. Debate should be healthy. Hatchets buried. Tables should be full. And good food should be good for you. We're not saying these are the rules we should all live by, but it's a good place to start. Panera, food as it should be.
Welcome back to the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com. Our Sports Radio 610 scoreboards, gotta love them. Magnolia beating Tomball 42-28, and North Forest 69-0 big winners over the Austin Mustangs.
All right, here we go. Baytown lead. Ganders taking on GC Memorial Patriots. Patriots win this one, of course. 38-25, Washington Eagles taking on Sealy Tigers. Tigers have no problem taking this one 55-6.
You know, some really good teams play tonight, but also some really good teams had the night off, but that doesn't mean they have the week off. Saturday action in high schools, and this week it's always Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Just so much action going on, Texas high school football.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this. Are you kidding me? And they're in the meat of the season at this point. Teams are starting to separate themselves. You're starting to figure out what team is the real teams and the pretenders. So a lot of good action this weekend. A lot of fun.
We're talking about the Katys, the Klein Collins, all the action. TexanLive.com. Here's Courtney Madden with what's coming up Saturday.
Coming up Saturday on TexanLive.com. In 2014, the 15-6A district champion was determined in the Westfield and Klein Collins game, and this season is off to a similar start. Westfield and Klein Collins meet Saturday in one of the marquee matchups of the season. Atascocita looks to get back on track after the first season loss last week. They face Oak Ridge. Both teams are 1-1 in district play and look to get the leg up on the playoff race. Over in Katy, the Tigers, who have been dominant so far this season, look to continue rolling along. They match up with a Seven Lakes team that last season gave the Tigers their closest district game. And at the Berry Center, it's a matchup of last season's district champs, Langham Creek against this year's district leader, Cy Fair. The Bobcats are 5-0, while Langham Creek put an end to a slow start last week, and they're ready for a postseason run. Also, don't miss Porter take on the Humble Wildcats. All this and more at TexanLive.com, the new home for Houston high school sports.
And you see the schedule. Well, you don't really see the schedule, but you see the schedule right there. Now you do. All right, those are the TexanLive.com games. The game that really intrigues me is Westfield and Klein Collins, because Klein Collins, one of their best teams. Westfield also really good, but they're going to be missing some players after that brawl last weekend. Spring, Katy also playing against Seven Lakes.
Here we go, Cy Fair versus Langham Creek, 6 o'clock game. The Berry Center, then Atascocita versus Oak Ridge, of course, at Woodforest Bank Stadium, 6 o'clock.
All right, regular Saturday games. You check out Spring and Klein, Cy Creek, Jersey Village, and the Houston Memorial taking on Aldine. Also, Belair, Lamar, Clements, Travis, Friendswood playing Clear Springs. And Porter playing Humble. That game going 6 o'clock game time as well against Turner Stadium. So the games that stick out to me here, Ted, is you check out Dawson and Manvel. That was a tough matchup there. But also Northshore and Channelview, that one really stood out to me.
Yeah, Channelview coming in at 5-1, losing that game. That was a big win for Northshore, big win for them. So didn't really see that coming. They start off the season not so good, and they're starting to figure some things out, Howard.
Yeah, speaking of figuring things out, I mean, we're starting to figure some things out about these different teams. Channelview, they need to figure things out as far as winning games the rest of the way, because these 2 losses the past 2 weeks, they're kind of hurting right now. You know they're good, but they need to turn good into victory.
They'll do it. They'll turn it around.
Another week is in the books. That does it for the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by TexanDrive.com. Tune into the High School Scoreboard. That's coming up next with Rick Renner and Craig Way. See you later, guys.